Serbia 3, Montenegro 1. Serbia is officially 1 point away from clinching a berth in Euro 2024. Few lineup changes from the previous match against Hungary. We saw Ivan Ilic in the lineup. We saw Veljković in the lineup. We saw Mladenović in the lineup. And we saw Dušan Tadić in the starting lineups. None of those players started the previous match against Hungary. So they featured in the starting 11 today against Montenegro. I'm not very happy. I mean, 3-1, it's a win, but I'm not happy with the performance. I'm not happy with the play apart from the 3 minutes where we scored the 2 goals is very lackluster. So the first goal for Mitrović, just taking on Stefan Savic, and he absolutely took him to the cleaners, as we say. Outside of the foot, into the far corner, into goalkeeper's far corner for a 1-0 lead. And at that time, you kind of got the sense that if Serbia scored early, that they would continue, and that they would continue scoring throughout the match. 3 or 4 goals, which was not the case in this. I mean, they did score 3, but scored very late. But this was not the case. Like I said, another goal from Mitrović. Where would we be without this guy? I have no idea. I don't even know how many goals he has for the national team anymore, but 2 today and an assist in a very important match. It was just a clinical finish. The build up unlike most of the match, was very good. For the goal, quick counter attack that we, turned Montenegro around and we ended up scoring. Gonna get straight into Montenegro's goal. Mladenović, if you're a right back or a left back, I guess he played at this point. You can't take on 2 or 3 opposing players if you're pretty much the last line of defense. Like, that's criminal to do at any part of the game, whether you're up or it's a tie or whatever the case may be. Just get stripped of the ball. Quick counter for Montenegro. Just to show you how bad this was, Dušan Tadić was basically the guy defending Stevan Jovetic, who scored an absolute rocket. His outstanding goal. Nothing that Vanja Milinković-Savić can do about it, and it was 1-1. And it's interesting because a few minutes prior to the mistake from Mladenović for that goal, he made another mistake where he kept, can't remember who it was, but he kept one of the Montenegro players onside, and they should have scored on that play as well, where I think it ended up being blocked by Pavlović and went out for a corner kick, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember right now, but it's a play that I think Montenegro would want back, and it just wasn't good enough. And the performance was lackluster as a whole, especially the first half. I mean, both halves, but the first half was, I think, very eye-opening. I think that for most of the first half, I would say even Montenegro controlled it. I thought that they were very comfortable defending us, which we can't have happen with guys like Tadić and Mitrović out there. Again, Mitrović dropping back and playing almost a CDM role like he did against Hungary. I've never seen Mitrović do that in his life. We're used to seeing him up top waiting for the ball. That was not the case in today's match. Just guys all over the place. I don't know what the formations are sometimes with this team. The 3 at the back we went with again. The formation is dead. We can't keep doing this. We don't get any good results from it. Our center backs aren't really good. They're not good at with the ball in their feet. And when you have 3 guys at the back, at least 2 of them should be comfortable with the ball at their feet. We have one who is, and that's Pavlović, and Veljković and Milenković, who really aren't comfortable with the ball in their feet, and that takes up so much away from us in like attacking was in building up play. And I think everything was just very slow today. From the start of the match up until we scored that 3rd goal, so until like the 78th minute, it was just all very slow. Just very slow build up, looking for the perfect pass. And to Montenegro's credit, it was a lot to do with them and how they man marked us, but we have to be able to find the solutions when we have the players that we have at the club. The problem is 2 of our better players, Mitrović and Sergej Milinković-Savić, I'm going to say don't play serious football. They play in Saudi Arabia. So that takes away from that. Recently, depending on what you think of the Dutch league, Tadić left for Turkey as well. So that's 3 of your best players who don't play in the top 5 leagues in the world in Europe, and I think that takes away a lot from our players. Team was booed at the end of the first half, deservedly so. Like I said, three. I mean, just couldn't get anything going. Started the second half. We have Kostic come on. We have Sergej Milinković come on for Mladenović, and I can't remember who the other player was right now. Mladenović and Ivan Ilić. And it was much of the same in the second half. Like there was the part that absolutely kills me about this entire thing was there's no urgency. Like it's the 65th, 70th minute, and there's not too much urgency going on. Not too much urgency from Dragan Stojković Pixi to bring on subs to go a little bit more offensive, which honestly, if 2 more minutes had passed and he didn't throw on more attacking players, I don't know. Like I really don't know. And then you bring on Maksimović, who replaced Gudel. I mean, you're pretty much going for a like switch when you need offensive players. It was just it was kind of funny to tell you the truth. And I honestly didn't think that we would get a result out of this match. Sergej Milinković-Savić had that one header where the goalkeeper stopped it with his feet, so he kind of dove on first to kind of box the ball, and Milinković-Savić hit it off his leg. And I honestly thought after that had happened that we weren't going to score it today, and it was going to finish 1-1. Now, let me say this about Sergej Milinković-Savić. Great cameo from him. This might be crazy to say, but is he maybe suited better coming off the bench than he is as a starter? Because now he can see that he's not invisible, that, he can be taken out of the starting lineup, and you know what I mean? The team doesn't look the same without him there. That's for sure, 100%. But if this is going to motivate him more, where you can bring him off the bench, then I don't know. I thought he was great when he came on. So he had the entire 45 minutes to get things going. The second goal, combining, it was Sasha Lukic, where Sergej Milinković tapped it on to Dušan Tadić, who squared it for Mitrović, who had an open goal. Excellent build-up, excellent play. This is what we need more of. Like, it's exactly plays like that we need more of, where we can combine Sergej, Tadić, and Mitrović. It always ends up. It's always a good recipe for us to score goals and to create chances, and that's always been the case. It feels like when one of them isn't playing, the other one just isn't that good, and that showed today exactly in the first half, where Tadić was like a chicken with his head cut off, and that's probably because Sergej wasn't there. Because Sergej sometimes takes some of the pressure off Tadić to create more for Serbia. Third goal as well, great taken shot from Tadić off Mitrović pass, and it's done and dusted. 2 goals in 3 or 4 minutes, but I didn't really celebrate too much. Like I can't even lie. It's just we play up or down to our competition. I thought we played 10 times better against Hungary than we did today against Montenegro. And you can't have that happen. You can't play down to your competition. You always have to play at a high level. We still have the players to do that. No matter if they play in Saudi Arabia, they're still very good players. They can still play at that level. But it's stuff like this that'll drive you absolutely crazy for whatever it was, 78 of the minutes. And then after 3-1, we kind of kept on attacking and we kept creating more chances. And that's what should have happened from start to the end of the match. It didn't, and unfortunately for us, we still ended up winning 3-1. Just a quick note: if you like the content that you see, please subscribe to the page. Would love to expand the subscriber base. And thank you guys for the comments. Last match, I got a lot of comments from some Hungarian fans who reached out. Thank you guys. Wish you guys the best of luck in the final, I guess, match that you guys still have left, or 2, or however many you have. And obviously the Serbian fans who always keep commenting on the videos. Thank you guys Thank you guys as well. I try to comment on every comment that I get, or try to reply to every comment that I get. And the surprising score today, I guess, was Hungary tying Lithuania. After Lithuania was up 2-0, ends up 2-2. So now we're only 1 point back of 1 point back of Hungary. We have 1 match. I think they still have 2. So all we really need is another point to go on to the Euros. But like I said, I wasn't happy with this performance. It could have been a lot better. I think this match could have been done maybe even in the first half. We just have to play a lot better. I think a lot of this stuff is just the backline isn't functioning, and this isn't on Pixi. We just don't have the center backs to make it work. We just don't, and I think that's the fastest that we realize that. And I've been saying this for like a year or 2 now. We just don't have the capacity of center back to kind of compete with anyone, or to field a team that's, when we see the center backs, we're like, okay, well, we feel comfortable with those guys out there. Rakovic, I think, should get a bigger chance. We'll see what happens with Babic. I don't think Veljković and Milinković were anything special today. I mean, it's easy to be really good once it's 3-1 and the pressure's kind of off you, but I wasn't really convinced with what I saw today. Maybe Veljković a little bit more convincing than Milenkovic, but yeah, Pavlovic is the only guy that I kind of really trust in the back line, and sometimes he even does crazy stuff, but um, his tenacity and giving it 100% every match, I think, works wonders for us. Even though sometimes he's not the best center back that you could possibly have, but yeah, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of questions. We miss Vlahovic, that's for sure. I think, even though sometimes I'm not his biggest fan either, but um, we definitely could have used him in a match like today. And yeah, um, that's it for this match. Let me know what you guys thought about the performance. Who was your player of the match? Would love to know. Who have you expected more from and just hasn't really shown much? Who has kind of surprised you in this qualifying phase? Let me know below. The surprising players that you have, and any other comments that you guys have, or any just comments based on the match that took place. Would love to hear from you guys. So take care, and we'll talk again down the road.